Alright, what's up? We're back with more of Avernum 2 Crystal Souls. We finally made it to the town of Mertis now, so let's explore. You enter Mertis. It's a major farming town and a reliable source of food for much of Avernum. Many merchant caravans also stop here before moving to the occasionally dangerous caverns to the north and south. The smell of lizard hangs heavy in the air. Fortunately for Mertis, the struggles with the Empire are still far, far away. This town has no signs of being attacked. This area is still relatively peaceful when compared to the rest of Avernum. A few guards stand around hoping that you try something so they can ease the tedium by beating you up. The soldiers guarding Avernum are not the best your nation has to offer. Your strongest warriors are sent to the front. The old, the injured, and infirm, they come here. They have already heard tales of your exploits. Some of the stories are even half true. You are treated as a hero, which is pleasant. Temple of Elgar. It's hard to figure out what's most memorable about this priest. His wild hair, wild gaze, or the huge mallet at his belt. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. Welcome, child. I am Rose, priest of Elgar. He slaps you on the shoulder with one hand and keeps the other near his mallet. What sort of priest are you? I spread the word of Elgar. I've never heard of Elgar. A mighty warrior deity. One with the wisdom to realize that knowledge is best let into a skull after cracking it first. It's not subtle, but it gets the job done. Plus, he teaches us great warrior magic. What sort of magic? Incantations to crush your vile foes. We long to spread this wisdom. I can teach you the ritual for a small donation, of course. Elgar sounds like a mighty deity. He is. Oh, but he is. A mighty brute who can slay any mortal being. If you are ever alone in battle, pray to Elgar. He will provide you with victory, or alternately, with a less agonizing death. Rose rocks quickly from one foot to another, bursting with energy. He seems eager to grab his mallet, run from the temple, find an enemy, and hit it in the head. You're a holy man. You can do healing, right? He is insulted. Healing? I'm a warrior. I crack heads, not patch them up again. Well then, where might I get healed? Try the Tower of Magi. There's an old woman there. He snorts. A priestess. She knows about healing. I'd love to learn some of Elgar's magic. Rose teaches holy chants that are very useful for someone in your line of work. Okay, so we'll definitely take the divine fire. We'll need it. I don't need any aid. Then go. Go forth and strike down the bad ones. At least we have access to divine fire now. We're also, as I should say, one more level before we have the maximum we need for pre-spells, so there is that. The storage set is completely unused. Between the dust and all the webs, you have a hard time seeing what's inside. I want to go ahead and use it. Let's explore the outside really quick. Okay, what's in here? You hunch over and walk into the cramped silo. Bags of dried mushrooms and ground mushroom meal are haphazardly to either side. The smell is so thick that you can taste the stuff. It's just as unpleasant as when you actually eat it. Alright. Looks like that door we had there won't unlock quite yet. Could crack open that weakened wall there if we wanted. Is there anything in here still? I feel like it was just bags of meal. Cavewood longbow. Ooh, it's about time we got a stronger bow. We'll take that. A lovely woman sits behind the counter. She is playing with a young boy, maybe 2 years old. They are both surrounded by arrows and tools of fletching. She looks up. Hello, I'm Tina, and this is Nico. She waves her baby's hand at you. Wave hi, Nico. He doesn't. Was your child born in Avernum? She sighs. Sadly, yes. I met Matt down here. We married and had Nico. We had a lot in common. We both made weapons to supply rebels on the surface. Does having a child in Avernum worry you? Of course, but this is our home, our homeland, for all its problems. It's as worthwhile to have children here as anywhere else. Tina plays little games with Nico. You are struck by how pale the child is. All children born in Avernum have nearly translucent skin. What is it you do here? She gives you a crooked smile. She's clearly quite tired. Watching over Nico. Me and Matt take turns. She thinks. Oh, I'm also a Fletcher. Who is Matt? Matt's my husband, and Nico's our son. Matt sells weapons over there. She points across the bazaar. He waves back. He does good work. Is there much call for a Fletcher around these parts? The merchants always need more weapons to guard their caravans, especially ones that poke holes in nasty beasts from a distance and scare them off. You can buy some missiles too, if you want. I'd like to buy some archery supplies. Tina makes quality bows and javelins for the warriors of Avernum. I don't need anything. Alright, thank you, come again. There is a woman sitting behind the counter, concentrating intently on grinding some herbs into goop. She finishes what she's doing and turns her attention to you. I am Anhara. Welcome. What are you making? She grinds up some dried poison glands as she talks. I make tools and poisons for the merchants. I trade with them a lot. Do you like the merchants? Good fellows, good customers. What do they need poison for? Poison is for killing pests and attackers. They need all sorts of things. Tools, lighting, healing poultices. You know, want to purchase anything? Trade, eh? Anything you're looking for? You know, now that you mention it, I need a ring. A gold ring. Nothing fancy, a simple band will do. I'd pay a really good price for it. I'd get one from the merchants, but they never seem to have one. There's a fellow named Rose in town. I have my eye on him, you see. Excitable, but a good man. And Hara continues to work on her dark, foul-smelling brew. You look closer. You think that she's making poison. Okay. Do you have anything I can buy? And Hara sells tools and potions for the nearby farmers. Some of her wares seem useful to you. I don't need anything. She shrugs and returns to grinding her herbs. There is a thin man sitting behind the counter, carefully chipping out an obsidian spearhead. He sets the wickedly sharp stone down. Greetings, soldier. I'm Matt. What is your business? My wife and I sell weapons at the bazaar. The merchants are good customers. Where's your wife? Tina? She's across the bazaar. He points. You see that adorable smart kid she's playing with? That's our son, Nico. I take it the merchants around here need protection. Between brigands, Nephilim, undead, Empire patrols, and rogue sliths, they need all the arms they can get. Matt keeps making conversation with you, occasionally pausing to wave at the woman and child at the far end of the bazaar. What sort of weapons do you make? Iron and steel ones when I can get the materials. Sometimes I don't have access to metal or anything fancy like that, so I use stone. Nothing like from Darman, but good, reliable weapons. You can buy as many as you want. Darman? A city in the far west of Avernum. The finest blades and armor come from there. I'm not ashamed to admit it. May I purchase something from you? Matt's weapons are mostly mediocre. He does the best he can with the materials he has. What do you people use your weapons to fight? Undead, for the most part. Mertis has a real problem with the walking dead wandering around outside. Undead? Around here? Where are they from? There is a cave to the northeast. Nasty place. Powerful evil curse on it. The walking dead keep coming out of there. We don't know how. We're well organized though, so we can usually dispatch the random ghouls and zombies without losses. It would be wonderful if some adventurers could find a way to stop the flood of undead, but I'm not too hopeful. I don't need anything. Alright, if you need a bow or something, go across the bazaar to see Tina. Okay, this was just another way to get in here. Like... You meet an old man with sparse hair. His clothes are heavily worn and have many stains and rips. This man has clearly spent many years struggling to create food in these caverns. He shakes your hand firmly and says, I'm Elmer. You notice that he has a large cut on his arm. What happened to your arm? There were some bugs in the silos outside town. He points to the northwest. Nasty. Never seen their like before. They got me. They're still in the silo. Been trying to get someone to get rid of them for me. I'll kill them for you. I'd appreciate it. They're in the north silo just outside the city walls. Be careful. They're nasty. I'll make sure the door is unlocked for you. Elmer picks at some bits of dried mushroom on his jerkin. That wound on his arm, while not life-threatening, looks painful. You look like you've been working hard. I have. Always do. Living an easier life now. I run the auction house. What happens at the auction house? The farmers sell their crops and livestock to the merchants. You know, the area around Mertis is the most fertile in Avernum. Mertis does seem like a prosperous area. Stuff just grows better around here. If the Empire takes this area, all of Avernum is in a heap of trouble. Why do crops grow better here? No idea. Something about the rocks? The Tower of Magi might know. It is nice that even with the Empire War, that Mertis is still able to, like, prosper and survive in spite of all that. Suddenly, a cloud of dry mushroom dust sprays out of the heaps of sacks. A bag of huge, hungry insects wriggle out of the bags of meal. They're sick of gnawing on dried fungi. They're hungry for meat. More chit racks. You know, I didn't say this in the previous videos first fighting these, but these bugs, by the way, especially the chit racks, remind me of Starship Troopers. That's definitely the vibes I get from these insect characters or NPCs. That they're like the Starship Trooper bugs. I killed those bugs for you. They're chit racks. They're from the lower caves. I appreciate it. That was a real kindness. He leaves and returns a few minutes later with the halberd. This is from my soldier days. Been keeping it around. Maybe you can make good use of it. Good luck to you. I'll tell the other farmers about those chit racks, as you call them. They could be a real problem. Okay. That's quite as good as the lava spears, so I'll just put that in my... I could have sworn there was a gold ring out here that you could find for the, complete the quest fast for her. I didn't even think about having a gold ring just hanging around, though. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. It was on the dead body. Okay. Well, this is rather convenient. So yeah, you can definitely complete this quest in Mertis alone. I have a gold ring for you, courtesy of a dead body I just randomly found in that one storage room. She takes the ring and inspects it closely. Yep, this is gold, all right. Thank you. I appreciate it. And here's something in return. A fair trade. She gives you a silver ring. It's a good ring, but just not right for, well, marital purposes. Safe travels. Okay, yeah, that is a good ring indeed. Let's see if I still like the other rings better that I have on, but we'll still take her ring. Just so you know, Anhara asked us to get her a gold ring. She has her eye on you. His jaw drops, then he grins. Well, it's nice to know good news exists somewhere in this accursed land. Anhara is a stout, durable woman. Thanks, friend. The bar is tended by a short man with long, curly hair and a friendly face. I'm Cronin. Welcome to the Merchant's Inn. It is surprisingly quiet. What can I get at this inn? Well, fighting for Avernum is thirsty work. You can buy mugs of mushroom meat for 3 coins. You can also get a room for 5 coins. You'll be in the commons, though. The private room is occupied. Who's in the private room? Some mage is in there. He goes to where the prisoners are, then comes back here. Does it 3 times a day. He seems a weirdy, but it's none of my business, as long as he pays. Why does he go to see the prisoners? I don't know. Something about finding passes, I think. Go see him. He said that if adventurers drop by, he'd like to talk with them. He's in one of the back rooms. Cronin remains eager to serve you. There are no other customers at the moment. Where are your customers? They come in waves. Next caravan that arrives will be crowded. Drinks, innkeeper. He serves up several mugs of strong, nasty gray fluid. It makes you feel very faint and slightly ill. It'll get you where you're going, but you sure won't enjoy the trip. I like a bed for the night. You are taken to the common room where the bug bites and sounds and smells of sleeping merchants give you a miserable night's sleep. Well, at least we got rid of that one status effect. There is a figure pacing nervously back and forth in the shadows of this dark realm. You look closer. It's a thin man in mage's robes. I am Kalen. Why are you sitting alone in the dark? I've heard of you, envoy to the Vanatai. If you weren't who you are, I wouldn't forgive your intrusion on my privacy. Instead, you may be able to help me. And that's all. I'm here to find out about the passes. I'd love to help. What are these passes you mentioned? I'm here to question the prisoners to find out about Empire passes. The passes are scrolls given out by the Empire forces down here, which let you into different areas they control. They are, worst to best, red, blue, and gray. I want to find a gray pass, and I think a prisoner here knows where it is. Are you going to interrogate the prisoner? I'm trying. The damn bureaucrat in charge won't let anyone in to see her. I keep trying, but she just won't budge. She's in one of the cells in the building to the east. But if someone stealthy and strong, like you, could find one of the gray passes, they could get far into Empire lands. Okay. Can he move already so I can You meet a huge warrior with a great sword at her belt. She sits at a small desk, humorously tiny next to her. It is covered with reports and forms, a grim backlog of them. She rises to greet you. I'm Commander Lin, she says. I'm in charge of the guards in Mertis. Are you busy? No, I look after the paperwork mainly, and I do paperwork. No, I look after the prisoners mainly, and I do paperwork. She looks at her desk with distaste. What sort of prisoners do you have? Empire soldiers. This is where prisoners are brought for questioning. The yard to the north is for grunts. The cells to the east are for detainees with special information. Can I see the special detainees? She shakes her head. Sorry, there's a VIP, a very important prisoner in there, and nobody gets in to see her without orders, no matter what clearance they are. I don't make the rules, I just kill those who try to break them. She pats her greatsword meaningfully. Commander Lin shuffles around piles of paper on her desk with her big hands. The greatsword at her belt constantly scrapes against the floor. Any missions for me? She smiles. I'm glad you asked. There's a bunch of bandits hiding in a fort somewhere in the honeycomb. They have some sort of mage helping them. We can find their lair, but we can't get in. Get in there and wipe them out, and you'll be rewarded. Tell me about the honeycomb. It's a mad tangle of caves to the west, full of beasts, constantly rearranged by cave quakes, easy to get lost in. A traditional hideout for rogues and thugs. Why can't you get into their lair? Traps, magical illusions, summon beasts. It's far beyond our skills. It will take a lot of searching just to find it. The entrance keeps moving. Okay, so we have some guards here. This is the yard where Empire prisoners are stored. Here they wait to be traded for Avernum prisoners or otherwise dealt with. Dirty sleeping mats are scattered around a feeble bonfire. A few prisoners stare at you listlessly. You meet a listless Empire soldier in this filthy courtyard. He wanders in listless circles, eyes unfocused and shoulders slumped. Some of his skin color from the surface is still intact, but not for long. You ask his name. I'm Gorb. What do you want? Who are you? I'm a prisoner here, just hoping to get out of these foul caves alive. Don't like it here, I take it? How can you all live down here? It's hell. I've only been down here 2 months, and I think I'll go nuts if I don't see sunlight soon. Why did you come down here? I volunteered to come down here, because they promised money and adventure. Instead, I get cold, wet caves, and crappy mushroom food all the time. All to fight a bunch of regular folks who are just trying to do all they can to live down here. If I could, I'd take back coming down here 1,000 times. And that's no joke. Orb looks at you, trying to decide whether you're going to torture him or not. He looks worried. He also looks like he hasn't been eating much. What else do you want? Tell me about the Empire Army. I don't know anything. They kicked me through the portal. I followed our commanders through tunnels. I got caught. How? Avernum ambush. We walked down a long tunnel and your mages blew up the passage behind us. Sort of tricks you pull. Cut us off. Of course, we dropped our blades right away. This is the prisoner from the surface world. She stares at you defiantly. You ask her name. She frowns. Carno. Private. 3rd Cavern Corps. 357. I want to talk to you. She looks you up and down. I have nothing to say, rebel worm. I am not a rebel. I am a citizen of Avernum now, not of the Empire. Whatever. You can do what you want to break me, but I'm an Empire soldier. That much is obvious. She spits. We're tough enough to take living in these caves, and we're tough enough to take you. And that's all I have to say. Do what you want. She looks you fearlessly in the eye, ready for a blow. When one doesn't come, she shakes her head and walks away. Yeah, I mean, she deserves it, but then again, we don't need to give her the satisfaction. But, ooh, what does this button do? This is a wide corridor. You smell stale, unwashed bodies. There are heavy, reinforced cell doors in the east wall. At least that's one way to get to the prison. You could break that wall if you wanted to. A surface warder, God, sits curled up in the corner. She looks meekly up at you. She has several purple bruises on her face. You ask her name. She stands and bows. I am Doherty, Private, 2nd Cavern Corps, 186. You note that she moves very stiffly. You look like you've been beaten. She looks at you as if you're crazy. Of course I've been beaten. That's what you Avernites do to us. You torture us until we talk. You deserve it after the suffering the Empire inflicted on all of us. Not me. I didn't do it. I don't like the Empire either. I just joined the army to get away from my miserable little village. She shakes her head. It doesn't matter. I'm here now. I'll tell you what you want to know. Doherty looks up at you sadly. You notice that she has lots of bruises and small wounds. They look very fresh. Can I speak with you? Look, I've been waiting here weeks. I've said I'll say all you want. If you'll just let me get to the surface again. Miss the surface? I can't take it down here. I don't care what the Empire does to me. I gotta get out of here. I'll tell you about the passes even. Just help me. What sorts of passes are there? 3 kinds. Red, blue, gray. They get you into different areas. Red is lowest, gray is highest. I hope that was enough. I'll tell you all I know. How can I get a pass? The gray passes are the best and the rarest. I know where one is, too. I hear there is a fort, real secret, beyond some lava fields, in that steam cavern west of the Tower of Magi. Lots of soldiers doing guerrilla stuff. They say it's hidden, but it's southwest of the lava. That's what they say. Can I go now? She looks at your face, and she bows her head and sighs. A little bit more hope fades away. Tell us how we can get there. West of the Tower of Magi, there's a merchant outpost by a lake. There's lots of lava to the south of it. There's a secret tunnel at the west end of the lava. The Empire outpost is back there. What about a red or blue path? I don't know. I swear. Please don't hurt me. You know what? Honestly, there is no perfect answer to that thing about, torture. Because to be completely fair, the Empire has tortured Avernum for so long that it would make sense for my group to say something like that. The small cavern has been occupied by a clan of Nephilim. You see them working their small fields of mushrooms and flocks of giant lizards, among the totems and decorated poles favored by their race. So to be fair, if you went with the other option, then I don't blame you at all, if I'm being... You see the long stone huts and low warrens of a Nephilim clan. The feline beings watch you carefully as you approach, but they make no move to attack. It's not surprising that they aren't attacking you. Since the Empire invasion, relations between humans and Nephilim have greatly improved. There's even a small amount of trade between the two peoples. When you reach the village, you are greeted by a sick Nephilim. He totters on his hind legs, leaving a long trail of shedding hair. He tries to greet you pleasantly, but he is hard-pressed to keep the despair out of his voice. Greetings, soldier. Alas, we can offer you no hospitality. A foul fungus has been infecting us, and we haven't the means to cure it. Suddenly, an idea comes to him. He looks up at you. You look skilled and strong. Perhaps you can help. We are friends to outsiders, but will die without aid. You are shown to one of the longhouses. It is filled with desperately ill Nephilim. Their fur is matted and covered with flakes of fungus, and their normally bright eyes are dim and blank. At first, you have no idea what to do. Then you remember that gray mold is supposed to have powerful healing effects. You apply a tiny bit of it to the fungus on one of the creatures, and the nasty stuff withers and flakes off. You use 3 large clumps of gray mold to make a rough poultice. Then you explain how it is made and how to use it. They thank you profusely and set to work. When you leave the longhouse, the ancient Nephil approaches you again. You have done our people a great kindness. I will see that news of what you have done spreads among our people. Our villages will greet you with open arms. Then, after being treated to a lavish meal, you depart to the sound of loud purring. Okay, so that's why you do want to hang on to 3 pieces of gray mold in your inventory for that purpose. And we got a reputation boost because of that. Now we are well known. Ooh, what was over here? Oh, no, we can get there. Thought we were blocked off for some reason. You find a healthy patch of lichen. You're familiar with this variety. It has healing properties. Some of the patches are even large and healthy enough to be used to make potions. Oh, and we found even more gray mold. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and fight them. We'll get some more XP out of it. Okay, no special dialogue for that. Just enemies to kill. All right. All right. So in the meantime, we are gonna take on the Honeycomb Brigand. You meet one of the band of bandits that prowl the honeycomb. They look you over carefully, trying to decide what to do about you. Then they recognize you. They decided that it's too dangerous messing around with you, especially considering your reputation. They flee. Aw, you guys didn't want to stick around? Alright, same dialogue as the sick village, so let's talk to them. The Nephilim here have heard of you, and they welcome you in with open arms. Word of your helping the clan to the east must have gotten around. They introduce themselves as the Far-Fletched Clan, a band of renowned archers. They tell you that they often teach archery to other clans. Since you have shown yourself to be a friend to Nephilim, they will share some of their secrets with one of you. Okay, so that is very handy for, like, battle disciplines later, I think. What was that dialogue? Among the bunch of large piles of rubble, you find the remains of a goblin, savaged by unknown creatures. She still holds her bow. Okay, we already have a cape with longbow. We'll just go ahead and sell it later. As you enter this tiny cavern, you would swear you hear high-pitched giggling. You look around, but you don't find any creatures. What you do find is a wand, carefully left in the middle of the path. A wand I don't really care for, so we're just going to sell it. Lemonwood longbow. Ooh. Oh, that's even better than the cavewood longbow we found. We'll definitely take that. Yeah, I don't know the difference, by the way, between a regular bow and a longbow in this game. It doesn't really matter. Longbows are easily the way to go. Thanks to your knowledge of cave lore, you notice that there has been a lot of foot traffic at this entrance. The marks in the gravel and moss on the ground are subtle, but they don't escape you. Okay, so we know to go that way then. Get in. No! I didn't want to go in yet. I still want to get rid of some of the shading around here. Dagnabbit. I want to fight with more Rania. How about that? You know, speaking of summoning, though, I don't think I ever used summoning hardly in the first game. That's also one of those I should do a better job of showing off in this one. Especially since we have the Simulacrum and Capture Soul spells from the Vanatai. Two enormous statues of lizardmen tower up above the passage to the north, one to the right and one to the left. They each stand 30 feet high, molded like clay out of the stone of the cave walls. These behemoths cannot have been created by hand. Powerful magic was involved. Too large and too smooth. The expressions on their stone faces are clearly hostile. Fangs are bared. Okay, well, we're going to back away for now. That will come into play later. That leads to southern Avernum, which I don't want to go to right now. You've been spotted by a group of gremlins. These mercurial creatures aren't sure at first what they want to do with you. Then they make up their minds. They laugh at you and make rude gestures. Then they become very scared. They run away. So just when you think they're about to attack. Alright, same thing as before with the reputation. Okay, Steam Cavern. So we pretty much covered all the honeycomb, it looks like. Anyway, let's go ahead and head in here. That's where the boots led to. But I will cover this in the next part of Let's Play, so I will see you all until then.